Is the border more secure under your leadership than when you started?
Congressman, the border is secure. We're executing our plan, and I've been very clear and unequivocal in that regard.
Mr. Secretary, the question is the border more secure now under your leadership?
Congressman, it is no less secure than it was previously.
Joining me now to talk about that and much, much more is Hal Lambert. He's a Republican strategist, also former Ted Cruz National Finance Chair. Hal, this border doesn't look quite as secure as it was, but maybe my eyes are deceiving me.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse, are you going to believe the commissioner, or are you going to believe your lying eyes? I mean, it's unbelievable that these guys simply will never admit to a single mistake anywhere. They've done nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong in Afghanistan. Everything's beautiful on the border. It's secure. We have no problems. Don't worry about the head of Homeland Security that they just forced out of his position, saying that there's people coming across the border that they have no idea who they are. Drugs are pouring across. It's a national security threat. Don't worry about that. No, it's perfectly secure.
How are these lies effective? I mean, like you just pointed out, they're lying about everything, lying about Afghanistan, lying about the border, lying about everything because everything's a disaster, and they're out there acting like it's all a success. Now, I'm aware that if you sit and watch CNN all night long, that you're an idiot and you don't have any idea what's going on. But for the bulk of the population, is this working?
I'm afraid the bulk of the population doesn't watch or read any news. And so they're home watching Dancing with the Stars. They're certainly not reading any kind of newspaper. They're not watching local news, maybe a little bit, and maybe there's 30 seconds of coverage on local news about this, and they see some images. But basically, I think the problem is the bulk of the population isn't paying any attention. And that's the sad thing. And so, I've heard you say this before, but, we get the government we deserve, and we have a bunch of people that vote that have no idea what's going on.
Okay, how do we fix that, Hal? I know you're out there doing as much as you possibly can to wake people up. Is it just waking up your friends and family thing? How do we shake this society awake and make them see just how corrupt and rotted things are at the top?
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I think with the false narrative, as we all saw, which was that we were somehow, our Border Patrol was riding on horses and using whips on the Haitian people that were illegally coming into the country. Obviously, that wasn't true, but that got so much coverage that people that normally don't watch the news may go, wait, is there something going on at the border I should know about? So that may actually have at least woken some people up that there is a problem down there. But I think ultimately what's going to happen is as more and more of these people come in, they're going to end up in all parts of the country. I think it may happen after the fact that people realize, wait a minute, we have a new variant of the virus because we let in 1.5 million people from around the world that have no vaccinations and have never been tested for COVID. And lo and behold, we end up with a new variant that's, killing more Americans. I mean, ultimately, that kind of thing could cause people to wake up. But right now, they simply don't seem to care.
Allow me to play you a little video of our fearless vice president.
What I saw depicted about those individuals on horseback treating human beings the way they were is horrible. And I fully support what is happening right now, which is a thorough investigation into exactly what is going on there. But human beings should never be treated that way, and I'm deeply troubled about it. The whole point is that we have to understand Haiti. I mean, talk about a country that has just experienced so much tragedy that has been about natural disasters, and we really have to do a lot more to recognize that as a member of the Western Hemisphere, we've got to support some very basic needs that the people of Haiti have to get back up.
Hal, setting all the mumbo jumbo aside, I have to tell you, man, I know it's a sickness in me. I do enjoy watching Kamala Harris try to have genuine human emotions. She can't do it. She's the most programmed, it's obviously ambitious human being in the world. I have no idea how she managed to rise this far in politics because she is just terrible at it.
Oh, and can you imagine if she didn't have the mask on and you could really see how fake it is? She loves having the mask on because she can hide some of the fakeness with that mask. You can't really tell what she's saying and doing. But yeah, I mean, she's speaking in this case like she's some sort of bystander, like she's still in the Senate and President Trump's the president. We need an investigation. She's supposed to be in charge of the border. I mean, what is she talking about? There needs to be an investigation. And again, now all of a sudden, because there's been hurricanes and things in Haiti, which, by the way, we give tens of millions of dollars to every year, all of a sudden now that means that we should just open up our country and all the Haitians should get to come here because they've had a hurricane and they have devastation. They do have problems there. There's no question. It's a corrupt society. They don't rebuild. They get millions of dollars. I don't blame people for wanting to get out of there. But it's certainly not the responsibility of the United States to allow every country that has problems to come here. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about billions of people that really are living in grave poverty around the world. The United States simply can't take everybody in that has economic problems, or we wouldn't have a country anymore.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.